What's up, Miami Dolphin fans? Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. And coming up here on today's show, we're going to be looking at 5 big Dolphins overreactions after their very impressive 33-10 victory over the Carolina Panthers. Is Miami on a 4-game win streak? Absolutely. However, usually the day after a win, fan bases get a little bit crazy. So what I usually like to do in this show is find 5 top trending stories and then give my 2 cents on them, because there is a lot of enjoyment. There's a lot of excitement around this football team right now. And one of the things that I've been doing the last 4 weeks, so don't kill the mojo, because guess what? It has really been working. And the thing that I've been doing on every single Monday show is sub for Dolphins dubs, and I'm going to continue to do it as long as the Dolphins keep winning football games. I'm not saying that I'm the reason that they've won 4 straight games. I'm not saying that you guys are responsible. All I'm saying is if you're a little bit superstitious and you want this football team to keep winning some games, I want you to go ahead and subscribe. We're about 260 away from 18,500. So if you could, take that link that you guys see below, send it to some friends, and if you come across this video and you're a Dolphins fan, hit that button, because more subs equals, well, hopefully more dubs and more videos. So, all right, let's get into some Overreaction Monday topics. The first one was, is this Tua's best game of this season? I mean, he was 27 of 31. Anytime you're completing about 87% of your passes, I definitely think that's pretty impressive. Now, sure, he threw for only 230 yards. He did have a touchdown. He did put the ball on the ground twice. Luckily, Miami was able to recover it at least one time. But for Tua, you're trying to be okay with him being a game manager. And far too often in the NFL, people, when I say the word game manager, like, oh, that's a shot, and like that's taking a shot at Tua. It's absolutely not. Not every single person is made to be an absolute gunslinger. If you can have somebody that can manage a football game and rely on the defense and do exactly what he did, which he didn't do anything crazy. He took exactly what the defense gave him, and he knew that nobody was going to be able to score on their defense. So 27 to 31, it's very impressive. When you look at some of Tua's best games this season, I'm going to look at quarterback rating. Week 7 was his best quarterback rating, despite it being a loss, 109.5. Week 11 up against the Jets, 108.7. Week 12 against Carolina. Week 10, common thread here. Okay, 3 out of the last 4 games, he's starting to play better. Believe it or not, when you give a quarterback some reps, they start to play a lot better. And I've been really tough on Tua. I have very high expectations for the kid coming out of Alabama. But good news is this: he has been playing much better. Now, what do you all think here? Which game this year has been Tua's best? And you know what? I'm going to make this actually the pinned comment of today's video. So for those of you that are coming across this, you're about to get hit with the YouTube ad break, so you might as well scroll on down and let me know Tua's best game this season. Despite the loss, I am still going to go with the Week 7 performance up against the Atlanta Falcons. Tua did everything he possibly could to have actually won that game. He basically led a great touchdown drive late in the game. They were ahead 28-27. You got to tip your cap sometimes to the other football team. Matt Ryan led the team down. They kicked a field goal. So even though Tua did not win this game, and even though Miami didn't, I still believe that his top game this season was up against the Atlanta Falcons, where he threw for, 4 touchdowns? He was really pretty freaking good in that game. Now, the other thing that I'm going to look at here is the past 3 weeks. 80.5 completion percentage. That's really impressive, and it doesn't matter how you shake it out. If you just look at what he did the past 2 weeks, 27 of 33, 27 of 31. The Baltimore Ravens game was a little bit funky, but again, he didn't need to throw the ball. He was 8 of 13 in that one. Tua is playing better. That's the bottom line. Let's go to the next story here. The Miami defense. It's almost like they are who we thought they were, because one of the top things that I always talked about in the offseason, the Dolphins didn't have a lot of these star players. You're like, how the heck is this defense good? But guess what? They got it done last season, and they had elite play at the cornerback position. I'm not trying to take that away, but they struggled, and they have struggled in the beginning of the year, but they're starting to get the ball rolling. When you look at the entire season, and I'm talking about a top 10 defense, they're allowing 367.4 yards per game, 23rd best in the league. This is entire season stats. What about points per game? 18th best, 23.3. But this Dolphins team, the last 5 weeks, sure, I get it. They lost to the Buffalo Bills 26-11 5 weeks ago. But I thought that was one of the most dominating defensive performances that I've seen this season. And the way that they slowed down Josh Allen, the way that they slowed down that Bills defense. So, are they top 10? I'm still not quite there, but you have to make the notice. You have to see They have dominated the Jets. They have dominated Lamar Jackson. They made Cam Newton and the Panthers, and people are like, oh, it was Cam Newton. They just beat the Arizona Cardinals 34-10, and then Miami just made Cam Newton look like that he's never stepped on a football field, and then they did the exact same thing to P.J. Walker. So yes or no, that's what we do here at Chat Sports. I want an interactive show, so I'll wake the hell up. It's Monday, coming off a Dolphins win. Do the Dolphins have a top 10 defense right now? Give me a Y for yes, or I want you to give me an N for no. Please go ahead and let me know down in the comments. Now, this is the holiday season. I'm always about the deals, and I got two really awesome deals for you guys. So the first one, Dolphins Christmas sweater. 72% off. Usually this thing's like $80. Now it's only like $22. If you're wondering how to get it, go to chatsports.com/DolphinsXmas. If anybody out there needs a brand new hat, guess what? I got you covered as well. Go to this link, chatsports.com/Dolphins hat. Usually this hat is $33. It is under $10. The last time I checked, it was $9.20. All I'm trying to do is find some crazy, awesome deals for Cyber Monday. And speaking of Cyber Monday, if you use code MONDAY, you can actually save an additional 20% off on orders over $75. So let's just say you want to go out and get like 2 Christmas sweaters and basically 4 hats. You're then going to be able to save an additional 20%. We're talking about just crazy, crazy stuff going on. If you want to even get a Jaylen Waddle jersey, guess what? You can go ahead and do it. But make sure you use code MONDAY to save 20% on your orders over $75. All right, speaking of Jaylen Waddle, if you don't have a Jaylen Waddle jersey yet, you might want to go ahead and get one. And is this dude going to break the all-time receiving record for rookies? He's getting really, really close. Now, what do I mean by receptions or receiving? I mean receptions is a terrible leadway, but he's got 77 grabs right now through this season. 759 yards, 4 touchdowns, and he's coming off his most dominant performance that I've seen so far this season. 9 grabs, 137 yards, and a touchdown. But for those of you that don't know what the record is for most receptions by a rookie, don't worry. I got you covered. I did the homework. In 2003, Anquan Boldin had 101 grabs. Michael Thomas in 2016, 92. Saquon Barkley, OBJ, 91. And then Eddie Royal back in 2008 had 91. So for those of you out there that are mathematicians and whatnot, he's basically 25 catches, and he has the record. 5 games remaining, 25 catches. Do the math. All he needs is an average of 5 catches per game, which, if you're wondering how many catches he's averaging this season already, don't worry, I got you covered. 6.4 catches per game. So if Waddle continues to do what he's done all season, and realistically, what he's done the last 5-6 weeks, he's been averaging even more than 6.4 catches per game, he should be able to go ahead and break the record. And I feel like not nearly enough people are giving Waddle the credit that he deserves, because he is going to probably break this record. I get what Jamar Chase is doing, but Waddle's starting to get it right up there in that conversation for me. So how many receptions will Jaylen Waddle finish with this season? I want you to go down in the comments, and after this YouTube ad break, I'm going to give you my special number. Special number. It sounds like something out of a black book. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to tell you that type of number. What the number I am going to tell you is my guess for Waddle catches this season. It's going to be at 105. I broke down the numbers. I looked at the remaining 5 games. They have a Week 14 bye, so keep that in mind. But there's no reason why he shouldn't be able to do it. His connection with Tua is starting to grow stronger and stronger, and the offense is really starting to feed around Jaylen Waddle. All right, guys, what's the next one? It's going to be around the other rookie who you drafted in the first round, Jaelan Phillips. And is he starting to deserve some credibility, or start recognizing, or start deserving some recognition? There we go. That's the words I'm looking for Defensive Rookie of the Year. He's getting close. And after his performance against the Panthers, 3 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, 4 tackles and a pass breakup. The one thing that I'm noticing out of Phillips is kind of what you saw when he was in college. He was a player that never really played defensive end. He was over at UCLA, had some opportunities to get it going. Then he took a year off, went on over to Miami, the U, which I know you guys are all way too familiar with. This dude is an absolute freak of an athlete, and he's getting better and better this season. He started in only 4 games. He's got 33 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 14 quarterback hits, 6.5 sacks. The only reason I'm going to pump my brakes on him winning Defensive Player of the Year is for multiple reasons. One, him not starting definitely hurts, and sack numbers are very important. And there's this guy named Micah Parsons, who, when you look at the latest Defensive Rookie of the Year odds, he's at -400. Two things working in his favor. He leads all rookies in sacks with 9, and he plays for the Dallas Cowboys. I don't really like to sit here and say that playing for the Dallas Cowboys helps, but it definitely is going to help him because they are America's team, whether you like it or not. Here are some other players, though. Patrick Surtain, Odafe Oweh, Asante Samuel Jr., and then Jamin Davis. No disrespect to these final two players down here, but I can make the argument that Jaelan Phillips has made a bigger contribution to their team than those bottom two guys, so put some respect on my dude's name. So what do y'all think? Will Phillips win Defensive Rookie of the Year? I want you to type W for win, or if you're like, man, he's having a great year, but I don't think he's going to win, I'm going to go ahead and type my HW, but hey, man, if you think that he's just going to absolutely kill it the final 5 weeks, go ahead, type W for win. All right, the final overreaction after the Dolphins' 33-10 butt-whooping up against the Carolina Panthers is around Mike Gesicki, and it's actually not too good of news. And I saw an article out there that said the reason why Gesicki hasn't been getting as much involvement in the offense is because the Dolphins don't plan on having him back in 2022. For those of you that don't know, Mike Gesicki's on his final year of his deal, and if they don't want to bring him back, he could become a free agent, and then he's gone. So when you look at these last 5 games, here's the issue. People are just hunting box scores. Week 12 up against Carolina, 3 for 17. Week 11 against the Jets, 5 of 50. Week 10, no catches. Week 9, 4. Week 8, 3 catches. Here's the biggest issue. If you're not watching the game, you just look at these numbers like, oh my goodness, Durham Smythe, he had 5 catches for 28 yards. And then the week before that, he had 4 catches. They're trying to weed out Mike Gesicki. No, look at the target share. Gesicki still had 8 targets in this game. He had 7 targets in the Baltimore game. They're not weeding him out. What it reminds me of is a very similar situation to what you saw last season with Tua and Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker's strengths, stretching the ball down the field. That's not what Tua's strength is. Gesicki's strength is being that reliable target, middle of the seam, 15, 20 yards down the field. That's what he's best at. I have confidence that they're going to be able to figure it out because Gesicki's that talented of a player. So what do y'all think here? Will this be Gesicki's last season in Miami? I want you to type L for yes, it's going to be his last year. Or if you think they're going to go ahead and bring him back, I want you to go ahead and type B for back. I've always been a fan of Gesicki. And for those of you that watch the show, I know I haven't always been the host here, but since his time at Penn State, watch him on the field. He is one of the most athletic players simply because he can do so many different things. And what he did at the Combine was absolutely insane. Like, the numbers he put up were ridiculous. So I'm going to say hopefully not, because I do truly think that he's one of the better pass-catching tight ends in the league. And your best friend for Tua is that continue to have more options around him. The biggest issue with this Dolphins offense is not Tua. It's not the running game, even though that definitely could improve. It's the offensive line. And the fact that the Dolphins have won 4 straight games behind the worst offensive line in all of football, I am going to start giving a lot more credit to Tua, a lot more credit to this entire coaching staff, because they absolutely deserve it. They're 5-7. You probably still have to win out, but I've seen crazier things. There's no doubt about that. To make sure you guys never miss any news or rumors around the Miami Dolphins, please go ahead, hit that sub button.